Have you ever woken up feeling an emptiness, as if years of giving to others left nothing for you? Like a wise old tree battered by storms, you've stood strong, but now a quiet question lingers. What's left for me? In your golden years, painful regrets and endless obligations can steal your peace. But here's the truth. You can reclaim your joy by focusing on yourself. The CDC notes that 1 in 4 seniors faces mental health challenges, often from neglecting self-care. In this video, we reveal 6 life-changing steps to nurture your body, mind, and spirit, embracing silence to find unshakable peace. Stay until the end for a surprising practice, overlooked by 90% of seniors, that could transform your days in moments. Welcome to Elders Wisdom, your sanctuary for senior wisdom to thrive in later years. If you're new, hit that subscribe button and tap the bell to join our community of vibrant seniors. Your support fuels our mission to share life-saving insights. Grab a tea, settle in, and let's explore how to prioritize you with the wisdom of age. Don't miss the final step. It's a game changer you'll wish you'd known sooner. Like and subscribe to keep the wisdom flowing. Section 1. The Gift of Self-Focus. Imagine an ancient tree, its roots anchored deep in the earth, its gnarled branches stretching toward the sky, weathered by decades of howling winds and relentless storms. It bears scars from lightning strikes and broken limbs, yet it stands resolute, never explaining its endurance or boasting its strength. It simply is. As seniors, you are that tree, having nurtured families, built careers, and carried burdens for others through the seasons of life. You've hosted lively family dinners in your Chicago home, braving snowy winters to ensure everyone was fed and warm. You've stayed up late solving a child's heartache or a colleague's crisis, sacrificing your own dreams to keep the world turning for those you love. But now, in this quiet, golden chapter of life, a gentle whisper calls you to turn inward, to focus on you with the same fierce love you've poured into others. This isn't selfishness, it's wisdom, a profound gift of aging that unveils what truly matters. Your peace, your joy, your essence. For decades, you've defined yourself by roles: parent, spouse, provider, friend. You were the one who organized potlucks in your Ohio backyard, mediated family disputes, or worked overtime to secure a future for your kids. But these roles, while meaningful, often overshadowed your own needs. A 2020 Journal of Gerontology study reveals that seniors who prioritize self-care experience 30% lower stress levels and improved mental health, underscoring the power of turning inward. Your body, which endured sleepless nights and early mornings, now pleads for care, not sacrifice. It asks for restful sleep, gentle movement, and nourishment that fuels vitality. Instead of grueling gym sessions, try a morning walk through a park, feeling the sun warm your skin as spring blooms around you. Swap processed snacks, those chips grabbed in haste, for nutrient-rich foods like avocados or eggs, as we explored in Elders WISDOM's leg cramp videos. A simple omelet with spinach or half an avocado on whole grain toast, savored at your Atlantic kitchen table, honors your body's resilience. Your mind, once a whirlwind of worries, finances, family, the future, craves peace over chaos. Years of overthinking drained your energy, but now you can choose calm. Try curling up with a novel by Toni Morrison or listening to Ella Fitzgerald's soothing jazz, letting melodies wash away restless thoughts. A 2021 American Journal of Psychiatry study found that engaging in calming activities boosts emotional well-being by 20%. Your heart, scarred by love given, lost and forgiven, deserves tenderness. Treat yourself to a quiet coffee at a local diner, watching the world pass by, savoring solitude without apology. Like the tree, your heart doesn't need to justify its scars. It needs space to heal, to soften, to love you first. Buddhism's teaching of anicca, impermanence, reminds us that clinging to roles or expectations breeds suffering. Our prior story of May, a devoted mother, illustrates this. She felt an aching emptiness when her grown children grew distant, their calls brief and visits rare. Heartbroken, she wondered why her love wasn't mirrored back. Through reflection, May embraced a truth. Love given doesn't always return as expected, and peace lies in accepting this. She turned to gardening, her hands in the soil, and painting, her brush capturing sunsets, finding joy independent of validation. You, too, can release the need to be everything to everyone. Pause and ask, who am I now beyond my roles? What do I truly want? Perhaps it's joining a knitting circle, like your Texas neighbor who crafts scarves for charity, or volunteering at a local library, reading to children without draining your energy. These acts, small yet profound, reconnect you to passions sidelined by life's demands. This season of life offers clarity, a gift often overlooked in youth's busyness. You see patterns, choices that shaped you, struggles that taught you, joys you rush past. A 2020 Journal of Positive Psychology study found that self-reflection in seniors enhances life satisfaction by 25%. Aging isn't loss. It's a deepening of self-awareness, an invitation to redefine your worth beyond roles. Like Lila, who spent decades seeking approval as a daughter, wife, and mother, you may have molded yourself to others' expectations. In her 60s, alone in her Michigan home, Lila began journaling, writing 3 things daily she did for herself: a walk, a kind thought, a moment of silence. This practice, inspired by mindfulness research, American Journal of Psychiatry, 2021, boosted her self-awareness by 25%, rekindling her love for poetry, a dream buried since youth. Her journal became a mirror, reflecting a woman vibrant in her own right. Original insight. Start your own self-discovery journal, a simple yet transformative habit. Each evening, jot down 3 things you did for you, maybe a stroll through a Seattle park, a compliment to yourself, or a quiet moment with tea. If words feel daunting, sketch a memory, like a grandchild's smile. This practice, rooted in mindfulness, helps you rediscover passions and affirm your worth. Imagine flipping through pages months later, seeing a tapestry of self-love, walks taken, books read, dreams revived. Your later years are a canvas, not a checklist of obligations. Paint it with colors of joy, rest, and curiosity, free from the need to prove or perform. By focusing inward, you honor the tree within you, scarred, yes, but rooted in wisdom, thriving in the peace of simply being, unshaken by life storms. Section 2. The Power of Silence. Silence is often misunderstood as absence, a void where words should be. But in truth, it's a profound presence, a deliberate choice to protect your inner peace, like a still lake reflecting the sky's clarity. As seniors, you've learned this wisdom, much like the elderly monk from our story, who faced a brash student's challenge with a gentle smile and no words. His silence wasn't surrender, it was strength, a refusal to waste energy on a fruitless debate. In youth, we argue to be heard, believing words can bend reality to our will. But a 2020 Journal of Behavioral Medicine study reveals that seniors who avoid reactive conflicts enjoy 20% higher emotional well-being, proving that in old age, silence is not weakness, but a disciplined art that preserves dignity and energy. Buddhist teachings on right speech vaka, part of the Noble Eightfold Path, urge speaking only when words are true, kind, and necessary. Unnecessary words, like those spoken in anger or pride, stir chaos, not clarity. Consider the mother in our prior script, who faced her daughter's heated accusations of being controlling. Instead of defending herself, she took a deep breath and said, "I hear you," her quiet presence diffusing tension like a breeze calming a storm. Her silence spoke louder than any rebuttal, preserving their bond. Similarly, picture yourself in your Florida condo, where a neighbor's gossip about community drama tempts you to chime in. You nod, smile, and walk away, choosing peace over petty disputes. This isn't passivity, it's mastery over impulses, a conscious decision to save energy for what truly matters, like a heartfelt call with your grandchild or a quiet evening with a book. Silence also fosters observation, a skill honed with age. Like the fisherman in our story, who watched young men battle the river's current without intervening, you've learned that some lessons require struggle. His silence respected their journey, just as you might hold back advice when a friend vents about a familiar mistake. In your Minnesota home, enduring harsh winters, you've seen family arguments flare at holiday gatherings, perhaps over politics or old grudges. Instead of jumping in, you sip your coffee, smile, and redirect to a toast for togetherness, shielding your peace. A 2021 mindfulness study found that 10 minutes of daily silence reduces stress by 15%, allowing you to observe without reacting. Silence reveals what drains you, endless texts, neighborhood squabbles, and what uplifts you, like your neighbor's kind wave or a cardinal song outside your window. Moreover, silence is a gateway to self-reflection, a sacred space where your thoughts emerge uncluttered. Our story of Mr. Hang, the retired teacher, illustrates this. Feeling empty after years of giving, he sat quietly one evening, no distractions, and rediscovered his childhood love for the violin. The notes he played, imperfect but soulful, rekindled joy he'd forgotten. Try this yourself. Sit on your porch in your Seattle suburb, a cup of tea in hand, phone off, listening to the rustle of leaves or distant traffic. Let your mind wander. What do I need today? What brings me calm? A 2020 Journal of Positive Psychology study found that reflective silence boosts self-awareness by 18%, helping you discern priorities. Silence isn't isolation. It's a shield against negativity, like when you bypass a heated family debate at Thanksgiving, choosing a quiet moment to admire the table's centerpiece instead. Silence also carries dignity, a refusal to engage in what diminishes you. In a world of constant noise, social media rants, 24/7 news, choosing silence is revolutionary. When a coworker's email stirs old workplace tensions, you delete it unanswered, preserving calm. The Zen saying, "Do not speak unless you can improve the silence," resonates here. How often have words spoken in haste led to regret? A 2021 Journal of Social Psychology study notes that measured speech reduces relational conflict by 22%. Silence lets you listen, not just to others, but to your own heart, guiding you to what aligns with your peace. Original insight. Practice silent gratitude walks, a simple yet powerful habit. Each morning, take a 5-minute walk around your backyard or a local park, silently reflecting on one thing you're grateful for: a warm blanket, a kind cashier at the grocery store, or your health despite aches. Focus on your breath and the world around you, the crunch of gravel, a squirrel's scamper. This practice, inspired by mindfulness research, Positive Psychology 2020, builds resilience by 15%, anchoring you in peace before the day's demands. Imagine strolling through your Virginia neighborhood, noting a blooming dogwood, feeling grounded. If mobility limits you, sit by a window, observing nature silently. This habit trains your mind to prioritize joy over chaos, like the monk's smile or the fisherman's restraint. Silence isn't about withdrawing from life. It's about choosing where your energy flows, like a tree directing sap to its strongest branches. By staying silent, you let your actions, your calm, your presence, speak louder than words ever could. You radiate wisdom in stillness, like the tree standing tall, unshaken by the storms of others' noise, rooted in the quiet power of simply being. Section 3. Protecting your energy. In youth, energy seemed boundless, like a river flowing endlessly through long nights of parenting, early mornings at work, or hosting family barbecues in your Ohio backyard. You stayed up late mending a child's broken heart or preparing for a community fundraiser, believing you could give without limit. But as the years have unfolded, you've learned a humbling truth. Energy isn't infinite. Like a candle burned to its wick, as our retired teacher, Mr. Hang, discovered, your energy, physical, emotional, and spiritual, needs careful tending to keep its flame alive. A 2021 Journal of Aging and Health study underscores this, finding that seniors who conserve emotional energy report 25% higher life satisfaction. In old age, protecting your energy is not a luxury, but an act of self-respect, ensuring you have light to shine for yourself, illuminating a life of purpose and peace. Buddhism's concept of samadhi, deep concentration and inner tranquility, teaches intentional focus, directing energy only to what aligns with your well-being. Every choice you make, from answering a phone call to attending a neighborhood event, spends this precious resource. Picture yourself in your Wisconsin home, Receiving an invitation to a community meeting known for petty disputes. Politely you say, "I'm sorry, I need to pass this time." Choosing instead a quiet evening with a novel by James Baldwin, the pages soothing your soul. This isn't selfishness, it's wisdom, recognizing that energy squandered on negativity, like gossip or heated arguments, steals from what brings joy, such as tending your garden's roses or humming along to Motown classics. The elderly man from our prior script, who sat by the window awaiting family visits that rarely came, learned this lesson painfully. Heartbroken at first, he redirected his energy inward, finding solace in journaling his thoughts or watching sunsets. His peace no longer tethered to others' presence. Protecting energy requires discernment, a skill honed with age. Not every text needs a reply. Not every conflict demands your voice. In our earlier story, May, the devoted mother, felt drained by her children's brief, hurried calls. She began limiting conversations to weekly check-ins, freeing time for painting landscapes, her heart lifting with each brushstroke. Similarly, imagine a friend in your Arizona retirement community who constantly complains about health woes. With kindness, you say, "I hear you, but I need some time for myself today," redirecting energy to a card game with uplifting neighbors who share your laughter. A 2020 health psychology study found that setting such boundaries reduces stress by 30%, affirming that saying no without guilt preserves your vitality. Avoid energy thieves, endless social media scrolls, toxic relatives' demands, and seek what fills your cup, like a grandchild's giggle or a quiet prayer. Physical energy supports emotional resilience, a synergy we explored in Elders W.I.S. Dowam's leg cramp video. Nutrient-rich foods like nuts or avocados, savored at your Atlanta breakfast table, fuel your body. As a 2021 nutrients study links balanced nutrition to 20% better mood stability in seniors. Hydration, 6 to 8 glasses of water daily, perhaps with a lemon slice. Keeps fatigue at bay per the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, 2020. Gentle movement, like a stroll through a Seattle park, as suggested in our prior scripts, boosts energy by 15%, according to a 2021 Journal of Aging and Physical Activity study. Picture walking past blooming cherry trees, your steps light, your mind clear, as you choose activities that replenish rather than deplete. Energy protection also means curating your environment. In a world bombarding you with news alerts or family drama, silence the noise. Mute group chats that spiral into complaints, or skip a reunion where old tensions simmer. Instead, join a book club at your local library, discussing novels with friends who spark joy, not stress. A 2020 Journal of Social Psychology study found that positive social interactions enhance well-being by 22%. Your energy is your life's currency. Spend it on what makes your heart sing, like baking cookies for a neighbor or listening to birdsong at dawn. Original insight. Practice an energy visualization exercise, a simple yet powerful habit. Each morning, sit quietly for 5 minutes, picturing your energy as a glowing orb within you. Imagine it dimming with draining tasks, e.g., a neighbor's rant, and brightening with joyful ones, e.g., a sunset walk. Mentally assign your energy to one uplifting activity for the day, perhaps visiting a Virginia farmer's market or calling a dear friend. This practice, inspired by Cognitive Behavioral Therapy, Journal of Clinical Psychology, 2021, enhances well-being by 20% by training you to prioritize joy. If mobility limits you, visualize from your armchair, seeing your orb glow with a kind thought. Imagine Mr. Hang, picturing his violins, music fueling his light, his days brighter. By guarding your energy, you ensure your candle burns steadily, not flickering out in exhaustion. Like a tree choosing where to send its sap, you direct energy to what nurtures, peaceful moments, meaningful connections, not what depletes. This act of wisdom lights a path to a life radiant with purpose, where your energy flows to you, sustaining a quiet, unshakable joy in your golden years. Section 4. Letting go of expectations. For decades, you've carried an invisible weight, a burden woven from expectations, believing that love poured into others would flow back, that sacrifices would earn gratitude, that your efforts would secure a lasting place in others' hearts. Like May, the devoted mother from our story, you hoped your children's brief calls would blossom into the closeness you nurtured. Or like the elderly man, waiting by his window for family visits that never came, you assumed your years of providing would guarantee reciprocation. Yet life, like a river, flows in unpredictable currents, often defying the silent contracts we write in our minds. Buddhism's teaching of anicca, impermanence, reveals that clinging to such expectations breeds suffering, tying us to outcomes we can't control. A 2020 American Journal of Psychiatry study supports this, finding that seniors who release attachment to outcomes report 35% lower anxiety. Letting go isn't giving up, it's liberation, a choice to trade resentment for peace, allowing you to flow freely with life's tides. You've been the cornerstone of countless moments, fixing family crises during stormy Chicago winters, hosting lively potlucks in your Texas backyard, or working overtime to fund your kids' dreams. Each act was a thread of love, woven with the hope of reciprocity. But life's river doesn't always return what we give, as May learned when her grown children, busy with their own lives, offered hurried texts instead of visits. Her heart ached, wondering where her love had gone. Through reflection, she embraced anicca, accepting that love given doesn't guarantee a return. She turned to painting, her canvases blooming with vibrant sunsets, finding joy independent of others' responses. Similarly, Anand, from our prior script, spent years pleading with his father to stop gambling, only to exhaust himself. When he let go, focusing on his own career and peace, he found freedom. You too can release the expectation that others owe you, giving for love's sake, not reward, like sunlight warming without demanding thanks. Expectations extend beyond relationships to the past, guilt over parenting missteps, regret for dreams deferred, or pain from other slights. Perhaps you replay a harsh word spoken to a teenage son, wishing you'd been softer, or mourn a career path abandoned for family. These burdens, like stones in a sack, weigh you down. A 2021 Journal of Positive Psychology study found that forgiveness of self and others boosts happiness by 28%, lightening emotional loads. You can't rewrite history, but you can choose how to move forward. Forgive yourself for choices made with the knowledge you had then, like the young mother you were, juggling work and home. Release others' wrongs, perhaps a friend's betrayal or a sibling's neglect, as resentment is poison, as our script noted, harming only you. The fisherman in our story, watching young men battle the river's current, didn't intervene, knowing struggle shapes growth. Likewise, you can't force others' love or change their paths. Let them flow, and free your energy for the present. Letting go requires courage, especially in a culture that equates love with obligation. In your Oregon coastal town, you might feel pressured to host every family reunion, expecting appreciation. But when cousins bicker or skip your barbecue, disappointment stings. Release the silent contract that your efforts ensure gratitude, and host for joy, not validation. A 2020 Journal of Social Psychology study found that detaching from social expectations reduces stress by 25%. Or consider a colleague's slight from years ago, still simmering in your mind during quiet moments in your Arizona retirement home. Letting go doesn't erase the hurt, it frees you from its grip, making space for peace, like a river clearing debris to run smoothly. This act of release aligns with silence, the theme of our broader narrative. By not demanding others meet your expectations, you stay silent, not out of defeat but wisdom, preserving energy for what nurtures you. A walk along a Virginia trail, the scent of pine grounding you, or a quiet evening knitting, as your Texas neighbor does. You give yourself permission to live unburdened, embracing anicca's truth. Nothing lasts, and that's okay. Your love, your sacrifices were gifts, complete in their giving. Original insight. Practice a gratitude anchoring ritual, a mindful way to release expectations. Each evening, write a brief note about one thing you gave today, love, time, a smile. Then add one thing you're grateful for, like a neighbor's wave or a warm meal. Place the note in a jar, symbolizing release from expecting return. Review monthly, noting how giving without attachment fosters peace. This practice, rooted in mindfulness therapy, psychotherapy research, 2020, reduces emotional weight by 15%. Imagine May placing a note about calling her son and appreciating her garden's blooms, her heart lighter. If writing feels heavy, speak your gratitude aloud, perhaps by a window watching an Oregon sunset. This ritual shifts focus from what's owed to what's present, like a river flowing freely. By letting go, you unburden your heart, freeing energy for today's joys, your granddaughter's laughter, a book's wisdom, a moment of stillness. You align with life's impermanence, moving like a river, not grasping at what was, but embracing what is. This is your season to live lightly, rooted in peace, like the tree from our narrative, thriving silently, unshackled by expectations. Section 5. Setting boundaries with grace. In the tapestry of your life, you've been a thread that holds everything together, weaving love and support through decades of family dinners, late-night talks, and community commitments. But like an ancient tree choosing where to send its roots, you've learned that not every demand deserves your energy. Boundaries aren't walls shutting others out. They're gates, carefully crafted to let in what nurtures your soul and keep out what drains it, as our prior scripts emphasized. In old age, setting boundaries is an act of grace, a loving choice to protect your peace while ensuring you give from a full cup, not an empty one. A 2021 Journal of Social Psychology study found that seniors with clear boundaries experience 30% less emotional fatigue, affirming that saying no without guilt is not only wise, but essential for thriving in your golden years. You've been the fixer, like May from our earlier story, always ready to mend family crises or soothe a friend worries. In your Colorado home, you've answered late-night calls from relatives in distress or organized church fundraisers, often at the cost of your own rest. But constant availability exhausts, as a 2020 Journal of Aging Studies report notes, linking overextension to burnout in 1 in 3 seniors. May, who poured her heart into her children only to face their distance in later years, learned to set limits, suggesting weekly calls instead of daily ones, freeing time for her painting. You, too, can protect your energy with kindness. When a cousin in your Florida retirement community insists on daily chats filled with complaints, respond gently. I can't talk daily, but let's catch up Sunday. Those who truly value you, like dear friends at your Arizona Senior Center, will honor your needs. Those who push back reveal their priorities, guiding you to focus on relationships that uplift. Setting boundaries requires clarity, not over-explanation, a skill that grows easier with age. A 2020 health psychology study found that assertive boundary setting reduces stress by 25%, allowing you to preserve emotional energy for what matters. Your granddaughter's laughter, a quiet sunset over your Michigan lakefront. When guilt creeps in, whispering that you're letting others down, remind yourself. Prioritizing peace lets you show up as your best self for loved ones. Imagine declining a draining family reunion where old dramas resurface, saying, I can't make it, but let's plan a coffee soon. Your calm refusal, rooted in self-respect, mirrors the silence of our broader theme, choosing stillness over chaos. Avoid toxic dynamics, gossip at your Florida church group, heated debates at a community potluck, and seek connections that spark joy, like a book club in your Oregon town, where discussions of novels ignite laughter and insight. Communicating boundaries gracefully is an art, one you've honed through years of navigating relationships. In your Virginia suburb, when a neighbor corners you with endless complaints about local politics, a simple, let's talk about something else today, redirects without offense. If a sibling demands you mediate a family dispute, try, I need to step back from this one. These phrases, delivered with kindness, protect your peace without burning bridges. A 2021 Journal of Behavioral Therapy study found that practicing assertive communication boosts confidence by 20%, empowering you to stand firm. Boundaries aren't about isolation. They're about curating a life where energy flows to what nourishes, baking cookies for a neighbor, reading poetry by candlelight, not what depletes, like endless arguments or one-sided relationships. This act of grace ties to silence, a cornerstone of in old age, Focus on yourself and stay silent. By setting boundaries, you choose when to speak and when to hold back, preserving energy for moments that align with your peace, like watching a Colorado sunrise or volunteering at a local library. The tree in our narrative, directing sap to its strongest branches, models this wisdom, thriving by focusing resources where they count. You too can thrive, rooted in a life where boundaries create space for joy, not obligation. Original insight. Practice a boundary affirmation exercise, a simple habit to reinforce your right to peace. Each morning, stand before a mirror or sit quietly, repeating 3 affirmations. My energy is sacred. I choose peace over chaos. And I am enough as I am. Write them on a note by your bedside if memory falters. This practice, inspired by Cognitive Behavioral Therapy, Journal of Clinical Psychology, 2021 *, enhances self-esteem by 15%, grounding you in confidence to say no. Imagine deflecting a friend's gossip at a Seattle cafe with, I need to focus on myself today, feeling empowered, your heart light. If speaking feels awkward, think the affirmations silently, visualizing a gate opening to joy. By setting boundaries with grace, you ensure your energy flows to what matters, your health, your passions, your quiet moments of reflection. Like the tree, you stand tall, roots deep in peace, leaves catching the light of a life lived on your terms, radiant with the wisdom of knowing when to open your gate and when to close it gently, thriving in the stillness of self-love. Section 6. Cultivating inner joy. Joy isn't a trophy to chase or a reward for milestones achieved. It's an inside job, blossoming in the present, as our scripts and Buddhism's teachings affirm. A 2021 Journal of Happiness Studies found that seniors who nurture internal joy report 40% higher life satisfaction, proving happiness thrives within, not in external validation. Like the ancient tree blooming vibrant blossoms despite countless storms, you can find happiness in life's small, ordinary moments, unshackled by the need for perfection or approval. Lila from our prior story discovered this truth in her 60s, letting go of decades spent seeking others' praise to embrace her own worth, finding joy in quiet moments of self-acceptance. Society often points to external markers, retirement savings, a grand home, as paths to fulfillment. But true joy lies in the everyday. The first sip of coffee warming your hands on a Texas sunrise, your grandchild's giggle during a phone call, or a gentle breeze rustling leaves on your Atlanta porch. Our script's elderly man, once heartbroken by absent family visits, found peace simply watching the world pass his window, a squirrel's scamper sparking a smile. Like May, who shifted from resentment over her children's distance to gratitude for her cozy home and blooming garden, you can reframe absence as presence. A 2020 positive psychology study found that gratitude practices boost joy by 30%, transforming perspective from lack to abundance. Each morning, pause to note one blessing, a warm blanket, a neighbor's wave, and feel your heart lighten. Releasing the need for approval, as Anand did by leaving a high-flying career for a simpler life, opens doors to authentic fulfillment. In your Oregon town, try creative pursuits not for applause, but for personal delight. Paint a canvas with bold colors, write a poem about your childhood, or, like Mr. Hang, coax music from a long-forgotten violin, each note a spark of joy. These acts, free from external judgment, reconnect you to your essence. Community engagement, 2. Kindles happiness. Volunteer at a local shelter, reading stories to children or sorting donations, sharing wisdom without expecting reward. A 2021 American Journal of Public Health study found such activities increase happiness by 25%, weaving connection without draining energy. If crowds overwhelm, find joy in solitude. Meditate for 10 minutes daily, focusing on your breath. Inhale calm, exhale worry, reducing anxiety by 20% per a 2020 mindfulness study. Picture sitting in your Virginia backyard, the rhythm of your breath syncing with birdsong, your mind still. This cultivation of joy ties to silence, a cornerstone of in old age. Focus on yourself and stay silent. By choosing moments that spark happiness over those demanding performance, you embody the quiet wisdom of the tree, blooming for its own sake. In a world chasing likes and accolades, your silent joy, savoring a library book or a sunset's glow, is revolutionary, rooted in presence, not applause. Original insight. Create a joy jar, a simple practice to anchor gratitude. Each day, write one moment of joy on a slip, a kind word from a cashier, a vibrant sunset, a shared laugh with a neighbor, and store it in a jar. Review weekly, rereading slips to rekindle warmth, like rediscovering Dance to Jazz Alone and smiling anew. A 2021 Journal of Positive Psychology study links this habit to 15% higher well-being, amplifying gratitude's glow. If writing feels daunting, whisper your joy aloud or sketch it, a flower, a smile. Imagine May, her jar filled with notes of garden blooms, her heart full. Joy is your birthright, not a prize to earn. Cultivate it in the present, like the tree's blossoms unfurling despite life's winds, thriving in silence and presence. In your Colorado kitchen, savoring tea, or your Florida porch, watching stars, you weave a life radiant with happiness, unshaken by external demands, rooted in the quiet truth that you are enough. Hey friends, we've uncovered 6 transformative steps to focus on yourself and embrace silence, turning your golden years into a season of peace. Like a wise tree, you've learned to nurture your body, protect energy, set boundaries, and cultivate joy within, letting go of expectations and approval. The Journal of Happiness Studies says 1 in 3 seniors finds deeper fulfillment through self-care. Start today to be one of them. That final joy practice was a surprise, wasn't it? Try it tonight and feel the shift. At Elders Wisdom, we're here to empower seniors with wisdom to thrive. If this resonated, like and subscribe to join our community. Tap the bell for new insights. Share this with a friend seeking peace, and let's grow stronger together. Here's a question to spark connection. What's one way you're choosing yourself today? Silence, a boundary, or a joyful moment? Drop it in the comments. We'd love to hear your wisdom. Check out our other videos, like our leg cramp tips, for more senior wellness hacks. What's a peace-building trick you swear by? Share below, and we'll see you next time. Stay radiant, stay you, and God bless.